Roman Abramovich dreams of signing Erling Haaland. Tuchel wants a flying start for next season as he implements strong tactics for pre-season starting in the second week of July. And of course, Rafael Varane seriously and heavily linked to signing for Chelsea this summer. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Kemal AA and this is another Chelsea transfer news daily video for you guys, where I keep you guys up to date with all the latest Chelsea news in the past 24 hours. We'll be speaking about Rafael Varane linked to Chelsea, Erling Haaland, Abramovich dreaming of Erling Haaland. I speak about this guy every single day. We'll be delving into brand new reports and links in regards to Erling Haaland, and also we're speaking about the article written by The Athletic in regards to Thomas Tuchel. When does pre-season start and what Thomas Tuchel will be doing during the pre-season? We'll be speaking about that as well. But before I do get into it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts and opinions on each story that I do speak about. But without further ado, let's get straight into this news daily. And starting off with Erling Haaland. Now, Kevin Palmer released a massive article late last night, about 11:30 p.m, even towards the midnight stages. He released an article. Now, it was a bit clickbait because he tweeted out, of course, for likes and tweets, he tweeted out saying that the wheels are moving in terms of Chelsea. The wheels are moving. Chelsea are going to be doing serious business this summer. And then the article came and there isn't too much. It's a bit of a non-story. But what I want to speak about specifically was Erling Haaland. Now, Kevin Palmer said in the article that Chelsea are exploring the viability of a mega money move for striker Erling Haaland this summer, with Stamford Bridge insiders insisting reports that the Norwegian does not want to sign for the London club are wide off the mark. So essentially, he's putting in a very sophisticated manner. For you guys where your English is not the strongest, essentially what he's saying is that Erling Haaland will be definitely interested in signing for Chelsea. This is nothing new. We've known this already. A lot of people have misinterpreted this and understood that he doesn't want to sign for Chelsea. It's wrong. They've misinterpreted it. What he's saying is that he would be interested in signing for Chelsea, but it's going to take a mega amount of money to get this deal over the line, a substantial fee, of course. And this is what I mean by a non-story. I mean, we already know this. We know it's going to take a lot of money, and we know that Erling Haaland is interested in coming for Chelsea. This is nothing new. This is why I was a bit annoyed because, you know, it was a bit clickbait from Kevin Palmer. But nonetheless, it is a bit reassuring that we know that Erling Haaland wants to sign for Chelsea. Now, what I want to speak about was Macca Sport. Now, Macca Sport, Dan McCarthy, a very well-known Twitter account. He has his sources and connections within Chelsea. He said that Dortmund, even though they're reluctant, adamant that they will not sell Erling Haaland this summer, Roman has to pay. And he has to pay big. You know, we're talking dosh here. We're not talking, 120, 130. We're talking minimum 150. This is what he was hinting at and alluding to. And now, what we can understand from what I gathered from reading reports and articles is that Chelsea will have to sell players to fund this move. I don't think that Chelsea have enough funds to outright get Erling Haaland, because the problem is Chelsea don't want to just sign Erling Haaland. If Erling Haaland was the only player we were going to sign this summer, then yes, we do have enough money. I believe we have just over £200 million to play around with. That is before player sales. However, we just don't want to get Erling Haaland. We want to get Erling Haaland. We also want to get a centre-back, which I'll be speaking to later on in terms of Varane. We also want to try and get a central midfielder. I spoke about Billy Gilmour yesterday, potentially moving on loan. If Billy Gilmour goes to Norwich on loan or Southampton, we need to get a midfielder in terms of depth and quality, in terms of fitting Thomas Tuchel's style of play. And we saw with Kovacic being injured, we heavily relied upon Jorginho and Kante, and thank goodness none of them got injured, but that could have been a major catastrophe. So we need another midfielder for depth and quality, can push the first team. We potentially need a right-sided player as well. Hakimi looks to be off, although that hasn't been confirmed to PSG yet, so who knows what's going on. So yeah, we want a right-sided player, we want a striker, we want a centre-back, we want a DM. So we're looking at 3-4 positions here, and we haven't got enough money to go out and outright and buy 3-4 positions. We have enough money to outright and go and buy Erling Haaland for 150, but we haven't got enough for the other positions, hence why the player sales comes in. And this is where the story comes in, where Chelsea will have to raise funds, whether that's setting Emerson, Alonso, potentially Kurt Zouma, Kepa as well, freeing up a lot of wages because Kepa's on £200,000 a week, loaning out Billy Gilmour, potentially selling Hakim Ziyech as well. So there's many factors, there's many things to consider here. And yeah, as I said, it's a bit of a nothing story, but the main thing you can take away from this is Chelsea need to sell players before we sign Erling Haaland. Now, another thing, the reason why we haven't been hearing much about Erling Haaland, there hasn't been many developments. We need to be serious now. A first bid, from what we can understand, from what we can gather, there hasn't been a first bid has not been placed yet. Because yes, there's been some sources stated that we have put the first bid in, but I wouldn't trust those at all. These are tier 4, tier 3 sources. It's coming from me. basically trust the top tier sources. We're talking your Fabricios, your Matt Laws, your Nizar Kintellas, your Liam Twomey, your Athletics, your Simon Johnsons. Trust these guys, because these guys are tier one and they've got their connections and sources in Chelsea. If they said we've put a bid in, it's true, it's reliable. However, none of them have mentioned any sort of bid. We're just talking with Dortmund. We're still testing the waters. We're still negotiating. We dream about Erling Haaland. Roman Abramovich dreams about Erling Haaland. Chelsea hierarchy want to sign Erling Haaland. It's a position that we desperately need. It's a priority. We all know this. Erling Haaland's interest in Chelsea, but negotiations are slowly underway, but it needs to be picking up the pace. Now, one positive I can mention is no news at Chelsea. That's a good thing, because that means that quietly and secretly we're working hard behind the scenes. Basically, we're cooking. We're cooking in the kitchen. We're cooking behind the scenes. Yet something is brewing up, and it looks tasty and juicy. Because, as I said, who knew about the Hakim Ziyech deal? Who knew about Timo Werner? These deals happen last minute. The fact that we're hearing nothing, and we know that we, adamantly want Erling Haaland, means that something is happening behind the scenes. So all I'm going to say is, yes, it's frustrating. You're seeing Man City put a £100 million bid for Jack Grealish and Harry Kane. You're seeing United try and get on the verge of signing Jadon Sancho, and they're heavily linked with Rafael Varane. It's frustrating. You're seeing Arsenal about to sign Ben White. It's annoying. You're seeing all these other top tier clubs making all these signings, and Chelsea just being stagnant and staying still. Let's be patient, because we've still got 4 weeks until the start of pre-season. We've still got over 6 weeks until the start of the Premier League season. So my thing is, let's just be a bit more patient with this club. We know that we work behind the scenes, and it's still relatively early in the window. We're talking maybe a couple of weeks since it's been open, so it's still relatively early. We have to be patient. It's as simple as that. So all I'm going to tell you guys is, yes, there's not major developments of Erling Haaland, but just remain patient. We're cooking behind the scenes. It's as simple as that. But we need to raise player sales. We need to start selling players, and that's the main focus of Chelsea. That is selling players. So let's move on now to pre-season, which is the most interesting part. And of course, The Athletic made an article on this. And this is interesting. Now, Tuchel isn't going to take it easy on the squad during the pre-season. He wants to make sure they are flying for the start of the season. It is believed that some of the club's returning loanees will be looked at with a view to giving them backup roles. Loftus-Cheek is one that I know for sure. Loftus-Cheek will get a pre-season. Thomas Tuchel wants to have a look at him, and Ruben wants to fight for his place next season, which is good. Again, it's a good mentality, good fortitude to have. Whether he's going to make it or not is to remain to be seen. Of course, he will have a pre-season with Chelsea. So that's one of the loanees that will take part in pre-season. The others I'm not sure as of yet. But what I find interesting is the part where he wants to have a flying start. And this is why I love Thomas Tuchel. It's that mentality. It's that mentality that not only is he instilling in the club, but he's instilling in the players. Yes, we're champions of Europe. We won the Champions League, but he's hungry. He wants more. He wants that Premier League. He wants the FA Cup. He wants to win domestic trophies. He potentially wants to retain that Champions League. That's the mentality you want to have. When you're a club like Chelsea with the winning mentality that we have, you want to make sure that we're flying next season. You don't want any slip-ups or a slow start. Simple as that. And this is what I want to hear. This is what I want to see. And this is just not a case of, oh, it's all about words here. Tuchel backs up his talk. We've seen that since he's arrived through the doors of Cobham. He backs up his talk. He said that, Chelsea are going to be a team that nobody wants to play against. He backed up with his talk. We became champions of Europe. We kept, we broke records in terms of clean sheets. Everyone hated playing against us. We did the three-peat against Pep Guardiola's men. Yeah, so he backs up his talk. It's as simple as that. So when Thomas Tuchel's coming out and saying that we're going to have a flying start next season, you best believe that we are going to have a flying start. Now it's up to the hierarchy. It's up to the board now. Don't let this man down. Yeah, go and get an Erling Haaland. Try and hijack a Hakimi deal, even though that looks like he's imminent to PSG. Yeah, back him. Give him his first choice targets, because he deserves it. He's got the CV, he's got the resume, he's proven it in the 4 months he's been at Chelsea in terms of playing time. He's proven it. It's as simple as that. You back him on the first choice targets, and I'd love to hear that again. After the Euros, the players will have a 2-3 week holiday and then back at it again for pre-season. Again, the quicker we get these signings in, the better, because that essentially means that they get more time to adapt to Tuchel's tactics. Tuchel can then implement a back four system. He can then implement a vertical tiki-taka, the attacking play, the real Tuchel that you will be seeing next season. Why Tuchel came in the first place, that tactical nous that he can bring to his team. That's when you'll all be seeing it in the training sessions and implementing it in pre-season. So of course, we need to get these signings wrapped up so they can adjust with the squad and team. So listen, it's looking positive. I'm looking forward to watching Chelsea again. Even though I'm enjoying the Euros, it's good. England's going to be playing Germany, and of course around the 16, I'm enjoying watching the Euros. But a part of me, I still miss Chelsea. So that's going to be good. But moving on to the final story, that is in regards to Rafael Varane, a centre-back that Chelsea have been heavily linked with. According to Miguel Delaney and of course Sport Witness, Raphael Varane wants to join Manchester United amid interest from Chelsea and Paris Saint-Germain, but he still has offers on the table from Chelsea, Manchester United and PSG. Now, from the sounds of it, Raphael Varane is Manchester United bound. This is what I alluded to earlier in the video, where you're seeing Man City, pushing for your Grealishes and your Kanes. You're seeing United about to wrap up the Sancho deal, and of course imminent for the Raphael Varane deal as well. So it's not looking good in that regard. But as I said, Chelsea would like to sign a centre-back. It is a priority. However, the striker is the main priority. I think Chelsea are looking at this in the case of they want to do it step by step. They want to sort out the striker first. Erling Haaland, that's going to take the longest in terms of negotiation, agreeing fees, agent fees. Now, in terms of Raphael Varane, he was always a kind of opportunistic deal. Of course, we do have enough centre-backs. If we are shifting to a back four, you only need 2 centre-back slots. We've already got 4 centre-backs. If Raphael Varane came in, you would have to sell one of your centre-backs. That would most likely be Kurt Zouma because of the game time, and of course he doesn't fit Thomas Tuchel's system. So it's always an opportunistic case, and this is what I was alluding to earlier, where we need to raise player sales. We need to raise funds from player sales, and I think the only way we sign a centre-back, or a centre-back like Raphael Varane, is we have to get one out the door first. You can't just have 5 centre-backs on the cards as we saw last season. So, as I've always stressed, Raphael Varane was always unlikely. Yes, of course, it's not a done deal. Chelsea could obviously sign Varane this summer, but he's not the priority to sign right now, and we have to sell players before buying, which is the main issue, the main stumbling block right now. But he still has an offer from Chelsea. Chelsea would still be interested in signing Raphael Varane, and there's still a possibility that we could sign Raphael Varane. But what do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But that is me wrapping up the News Daily video, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.